Alright everyone, Taylor here on May 29th, doing your nightly video, another week and another month in the books, and it was a bullish one. Quick peek here at the rankings off of the Big 3 scorecard, and no shocker, we are bullish. Overall market bullish rating, the indices as a basket, 93% of their best score. Breaking down a couple of the sectors here, Big Tech at 98, the ARC at 88, the chips at 87. And look, a few of these aren't bullish. Bitcoin a little heavier with a negative 60. Utilities a bit weaker. You have energy, silver, XLP. If we keep on getting good leadership from big tech and big chips, none of that will matter. We got enough looking good here in the spaces that matter. And then for the Big 10 basket, they're all positive, a few stronger than the others. Broadcom a 98, Micron a 97, Apple a 92. I would love to buy the daily squeeze for Amazon. We picked up a little bit of TSM in the room yesterday, and then Tesla here's a 66, with what I think could be a pretty big weekly squeeze trying to shape up. But yeah, no change here, guys, and I could tell you that we're a bit overbought. And the thing about that is we've been overbought here since SPX like 7,000. And to keep on getting leadership from the Big 10 names, the big tech, big chips, QQQ is strong, S&Ps are strong, pretty much everything is strong. Everything not named Bitcoin. And the whole idea of, hey, we have to pull back because we are overbought, to me is a dangerous game. Do I wake up and blindly buy everything? No. I go through my rankings, I fight for a good entry, try to work a good risk reward. But what I will not do is try to be in the business of trying to call for a top and the business of trying to short what for now remains a really, really strong market. And hey, if I could get something like a 30-minute and a 1-hour sell signal, I'm down with getting short for a day trade. But yeah, I would be a little bit careful about trying to fight City Hall here. But alright, a couple ideas for you guys, and the beauty I think of these ideas is if the unthinkable happens and we pull back for a few days, they should maintain good structure. If anything, on a good dip, it might make for a better buying opportunity. And the first one here is going to be the daily squeeze for TSM, which we got long here in the room yesterday. And we jumped in with the July expiration 400-390 put credit. And that makes it a pretty straightforward trade. If they can keep it above the 400, we'll be in good shape. We'll get the premium paycheck. As far as a move into our target, that'd be a move up into about 445 to 450. And we got a call wall right now at 430. If you guys follow these call walls, they can be pretty accurate. The call wall can be a bit of a magnetic level. Pulls price into it, can also be a bit of a brick wall. Pulls price into it and then rejection. And they work it back in the 430, another rejection. So even though I like the daily squeeze here, if we're going to get a path going into 445 to 440, we would want to look for ideally a daily candle close back above the 430. But I like it above 400, and if anything on a good dip, I might jump in and try to buy a few calls here. There's TSM. Next up is going to be the one they call ZON. And we got Jeffrey Bezos blowing up rockets here. And now to be clear, we don't have a buy trigger yet. And as the old saying goes, no trigger, no trade. I love the pattern though. This is by far my favorite pattern. Big move up. Pull back to your 21 EMA buy zone. And now what happens here is that pullback is not bearish, it's more of a healthy reset. You had a big move, everything getting a little bit tired, you pull back to a buy zone, and now you get a negative shift down here on your MACD line. What that can make for eventually is that potential slingshot move. Pull back on price, pull back on the MACD line, kick it into a bear cycle. Even while they do that, they keep the good structure and they keep the good trend. And again, that's what makes it bullish. You're pulling back into an uptrend. You're pulling back in the good chart structure. And then momentum-wise, they get the negative hook. If they can get the positive hook, it's basically a chance to buy that with what to me is now going to be a full tank of gas. Exhibit A would be the weekly squeeze you had here a couple of weeks ago for Apple. Actually, the same exact pattern. Big move up, kick back to the buy zone, kick the MACD line negative. With momentum in a bear cycle, they keep good structure, they keep good trend, turn the MACD line back up, and now that good-looking squeeze has the oomph. The oomph for a good push. So yeah, for Amazon here, I would like me a piece of that. And then I think worth noting, if we look all the way up here to the monthly time frame, Amazon also has a really, really good-looking monthly squeeze. And the target on that bad boy would be a move into 310 to about 315. And if anything, the call it significance of that daily squeeze here in the short term, if they fire the daily squeeze long, that can maybe get you going towards 300. If they get in the 300, they probably get around to firing the monthly squeeze long. And that can give you a bit more. So for Amazon here, I'm being patient. Structure for a breakout, trend for a breakout. If I can get momentum for a breakout, we're going to get a green candle. We're going to get a green arrow on the histogram. At that point, I jump in, play for a path into ideally 290 to 300. From Amazon, we can jump over to Tesla. And another one where I don't have my buy trigger yet, but I love the pattern. And it looks pretty similar to September of last year. We had a couple of really nice trades there. Pull back to the buy zone. Kick the MACD line into a bear cycle. Maintain the bullish structure. Maintain the bull trend. Turn the MACD line back up. Green arrow. There's your buy trigger. And back in September, that made for about, 35 to 45% push. And then you pull back again. And they pull the MACD into a bear cycle again. And you're chopping all the back and forth. They do a good job of keeping bull structure, bull trend. And until that changes, that means your pullback here, it's not bearish. You had a big move up. Everything got a little bit tuckered out. And now this could be the nice healthy reset before another big move. Pull back on price. Pull back on the MACD. And now I thought they might get it here this week. If they can pull the MACD line back above zero for next week, we'll be in business, we'll get the buy trigger, and in terms of a good-looking risk-reward spot, we get the buy trigger anywhere near 440 to 450. The idea is invalid on a breakback below 400. So you're going to take on your 40, maybe 50 points of risk. And then my thinking here would be we're looking for a move into 525, maybe to 550. Pull back to the buy zone, slingshot momentum, take out the high, and then push into a brand new all-time high. On paper, a great idea. We need the green candle. So a few ideas for you folks here. Weekly on the Tesla, a daily on Amazon, a daily on the TSM. And then one more for you here. This one might need a little bit more time. Could even pull back for a bit here in the short term. But the pattern that I'm showing you on all the others here, that could play out for Google as well. 270 into 400. We call that a decent little move. Momentum exhaustion. Pull back on the MACD line, hook it negative. Pull back on price to the buy zone. Keep the trend intact, keep the structure intact. Now from here we sit back and do nothing. We let that daily squeeze build out. And it might take another couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. Y'all know the drill. Good structure, good trend. All of the energy being built up in that squeeze. It's a good-looking car with a bone-dry gas tank. Be patient, let it work out. If we can catch it on the momentum shift, I'm in there for a path back into a brand new all-time high. And keep in mind, guys, the Amazon idea, the Tesla idea, Google, they're all going to require most likely a good market behind them. I happen to think for now that they have a great market behind them, but don't forget indexes first and then the stocks. But all right, shall not be a dull week. Enjoy the weekend, and then we'll see what's in store here for the first week of June. Adios, guys.
What's up, traders? This is Taylor from Simpler Trading. I wanted to thank you for watching our video, and if you liked the video, go on ahead and comment down below, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell icon to get a notification anytime we upload our next video. And of course, if you want to watch us trade live in real time with our own money, check us out at simplertrading.com. Until then, trade safe, and I'll catch you in the next video.